Hey Ketosis Mom followers and Amazon shoppers, it is Prime Day. I know that a lot of people are going to be brand new today, so if you are not currently following us, make sure that you tap the follow button. We go live quite often, and we are a little bit different than some of these other live streams that you're going to be seeing because we are not just showing you things because they're on deal. We're showing you things that we use, love, would buy again, gift people, and yes, a lot of them are on deal. We dug through all of the Prime Day deals this morning. So if you had an alert on this live stream to come back and go watch us go live, you probably started in our Amazon storefront and you saw our previous travel finds. You can go back and look at any of our previous live streams at any time if you would like to. All you have to do is tap right there where it says live streams from our storefront. You can tap follow from this live stream, and you can also tap follow from the storefront as well. We create content in what we call a waterfall. Typically, you will see images come up first of things that we have purchased and things that we're loving, or especially if we see that there's on a good deal. You'll see a photo first. You can also see short videos anywhere from 10 seconds all the way up to 5 minutes in our video review section. And like I said, here's our previous live streams. We're going to go ahead and get started today. If you guys are new with us, then you might not know Joe, who's on the screen right now. I am Jen. This is my husband, Joe. We are kind of a team when it comes to this because a lot of things, Joe is the one that knows how it works.
Unfortunately, I forgot my hat today.
And he's also typically known as the guy in the hat. When I first started live streaming for Amazon years ago, like multiple states ago where we lived, Joe was the one who was running around trying to find what I had next and bring it on camera and kind of trying to stay out of the limelight. Now, as you can see, Joe has his very own light up sign and he is very much in that limelight.
My own table too.
We're here for any questions that you have over anything that we're going over. The reason that I say that we're a little bit different than some of the other people you might be watching today, we can in fact answer questions about anything that we are going over because we use these things and we use them often. So these are things that we feel are good purchases. So it's a little bit different, right? We're not just going to hold it up and say, this is on deal today, and then not be able to answer anything about it. So we're going to go ahead and get started.
And you'll see me looking at my phone because I'm checking the chat while Jen is too. So
we are. So we're checking the chat the entire time. We're looking for people who are following. We're looking for people who are chatting. So please ask us those questions because that's what we're here for. Literally, it's what we're here for. We want you to ask us these questions. So feel free to chat along with us. The first two items that I'm going to go over, I moved them to the front of the carousel today because they are on deal today. So I want to be able to show you guys these items first. And I also just realized that I think I'm going to have to go out to this bigger screen. Yep, I think I forgot to add my mic to that camera. So we're going to hold stuff up. This is on lightning deal right now. I got this a while ago. This is an IPL hair remover device. I wanted to try it. I saw this all over social media and I thought, okay, I've tried other IPL devices before and they were kind of hit or miss. This one I have been impressed with and it doesn't hurt. That's my personal experience with this. The reason that it doesn't hurt is because on the end right here, you're going to see kind of this larger gold section. This whole gold section right here has a cooling effect to it. So when the laser, which is in the middle, is the light that flashes really, really bright. That's why you have to wear the sunglasses that they send with you. Do not do this without your glasses on. But once this gets hot and flashes on any of the hair that you're treating, it has a cooling effect immediately right with it. The other thing that I liked about this is there is what they call an automatic setting to this. So you don't have to move along your leg or arm or whatever area of your body you're treating. You don't have to move, hit the button, move, hit the button. You can put the automatic on and just keep gliding this down your leg so that you don't have to just sit there and keep pushing and pushing and pushing. Now, Joe has been really excited because he gets to help me with this, especially on the back of my legs where maybe I'm kind of twisting trying to get there. But I've had this for a couple of weeks now. I've been using a crystal eraser to get the hair down and then using this on top. And I have seen thinner, like shorter hairs and also not as much. So I know that sounds odd. It's almost like there's a different kind of hair and then it's treating the different kind that comes out each time. So this lightning deal, I do recommend grabbing one of these because I have really liked it. And I have tried other IPL lasers before, just if you're curious. The next thing that I want to go over is a microdermabrasion machine. I call it a machine. It is the Glow Diamond. It plugs in the back right here, and you just leave this sitting in its dock. It comes with 2 different heads on here, the one that I have highlighted right now. Underneath, you're going to see down in there is a little filter. That's the only thing that you have to replace on these outside of once these heads start getting kind of worn down. I'd say after a year or so, I would replace it. The only kind of thing that I'm not a fan of on these, and you don't have to do this, they send this little rubber cap to protect the end that is actually going on your face. This is the larger one. There's also a smaller one for inside little crevice areas. This is a little hard to get off sometimes, but you do not have to use it. Otherwise, it's amazing. All you do with this, there's also an automatic setting for this as well. When you turn it on, it's going to light up. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. It will light up and it shows your entire face. If you select the automatic setting in automatic mode instead of manual, it's going to tell you which area you're going to start with, which is usually your cheeks. You're simply going to take this and continuously move it across your face. If you leave it sitting in one spot, it's going to kind of suck the skin up. It might, get a little red. That's why you want to make sure you're continuously moving it. This has been really nice for me. I have a spot. I'm sure you guys can see it right over here. I call it my sun spot. I've had it since I was pregnant. I got this to try to kind of smooth some of that down. I was also in a car wreck and I have things still kind of stuck down in my face and some scarring. So I'm trying to weed away at that as well. This is also really nice on my forehead for my forehead lines. I go across my entire forehead with this, wash my face fully afterwards before I put on my skincare treatments. And that just, in my opinion, that helps kind of get everything soaked into a whole other layer of your skin better. So, hey, Jennifer. The other Jennifer's here today. We've been good. Joe's here too. I'll let you see him. There he is. He's coming up next. He's going to show you all these. These were gifted to us around Father's Day for Joe. And I want to steal them so badly. And I'm going to steal them. I promise you I am. Okay. He's going to go ahead. I got to remember which camera you're on, my love. You are on this one. There you go.
All right. So the first thing up is both are from Aged and Charred. So I'll start with that. The first one is their premium cocktail smoker kit. Comes with this really nice kind of wood carrying case. Nice latch. What I love about this is it has, even if you haven't made a smoked cocktail before, it comes with various recipes. It comes with easy to read instructions on both sides of the card. Which is
what I like.
I'm not going to go through a demo on this one, but I will do it on the larger one that I'm going to go through shortly. The nice thing about this one is it does come, like I said, with everything you need except a glass. And I'll open this up so you can kind of see. You have a little stainless steel mesh in here to catch the wood chips before you ignite them. So we'll go through that. It does come with the torch, a little cleaning utensil. It does come with a backup as well if anything happens with the stainless steel mesh you have. It does come with the butane you need for the torch as well as instructions on how to fill it.
And something I want to point out about that. So Aged and Charred has multiple different kits. And when you go look, this kit that has the wooden box is my favorite. One, because it has the wooden box that's nice. 2 because it comes with multiple different what I call flavor
I was going to get to that.
But it also comes with the butane, so you don't have to worry about it. So this is a whole like gift to someone in one. I'm sorry to interrupt. Go ahead, Joe.
And I will mention with that, like regardless of what kits you purchase, it's not always common to find the butane included with it, so you may have to look elsewhere. So it is nice that they do include this. I will say that this one has different types of the wood chips in here. It's got apple, cherry, oak, and hickory.
Which one's your favorite?
I tend to like cherry. And the nice thing also, like I said, it does come with instructions. It'll give you what you need, and in this case, for example, this is a smoked Manhattan, requires cherry wood chips. So it goes through all of that.
I like it then.
And tells you what you need to do. So it has that hinge there. We have this in my office upstairs right now.
Notice he said right now, because it might go missing.
But what I'm going to do the demo on is the larger old-fashioned cocktail kit. It comes with a barrel. It's a premium barrel set. I'm just going to pull out everything that was in the box so that I have that nice and set up right here. I will also show the box because it is pretty big.
Huge, yeah.
So you will get a fairly large box. We're keeping it. I mean, if we ever need to put it away for a reason, it does have a styrofoam kind of material on the inside.
Yeah, so there is like a whole big like foam like wrap that goes around this thing. So when we're not using it, we've been putting it back in the box just to protect it, just because we have kids and we're getting a puppy today.
Yes.
So we'll show you guys the puppy next live stream, more than likely.
Hopefully it does not arrive during this live stream, but I'm thinking it'll be much later today.
Something that I want to point out before Joe gets started on this, though, because a lot of people are probably looking at this going, oh my gosh, that's so big and bulky. Why would I want that? I'm going to tell you why you want it. If you have people over to your house, let's say at the holidays, or you do barbecues or whatever you're doing, Joe likes to be our bartender and mix up different kinds of fun cocktails. He's not going to want to smoke one glass at a time if he's making 3 Manhattans for 3 different people. And this allows him to do that. And he's going to demonstrate the whole thing because this is a really cool party trick for you guys to see.
All right. I want to point out again, I have everything that comes with it here. This is in one of the foam inserts on the inside, so I have that out separately along with a couple of the other things. Comes with a full instruction set as well, so you don't have to worry about it if you're not sure how to do it. One of the things I do want to point out is it does come with this tray. And I'm going to turn it on. It has 4 LED lights with different settings. I'm going to keep it on the permanent on setting. That slides in here. Well, why would I need that? Well, it helps you see how much smoke you have inside. It also has a magnet down here to keep the door closed. I showed you this with the last kit. You can tell it has been used, so we have used it. And I'm going to pop that back on there. This kit comes with oak. Nothing wrong with oak. We've actually had a cocktail using these chips. It does have some silica gel in there to keep it dry as well. So I'm going to take a few pinches, put it in the top of this, and Jen, you'll have to tell me if we can see it or not once this gets started. Trying to make sure I have enough in there to get a nice good smoke.
Monty says that he's starting the Let's Go Joe chant.
Who is?
Monty. He says, I love seeing you guys together doing this. I said, watch how excited Joe gets doing this.
All right, so I do want to point out, it does come with the replacement meshes. This one comes with 2 additional replacement meshes, whereas the other one came with 1. It does come with the torch and the brush and instructions for how to do that as well. Again, can you see inside here real quick? I can't really tell on my screen.
You can.
Let's hope this shows up. So I'm going to try.
This is so cool.
And get this going real good.
Oh, yeah. I see the smoke coming in. I see it. Woo, yeah. Now, wait a minute. How come you don't have me a cocktail going in there or something? I need a cup.
Can you see it?
I can see it. I can see it. The whole thing is getting smoky. Yeah. Do it one more time. Do a big one.
I mean, I could definitely smell it.
Oh, yeah. Wow. I love it. Put the tap on so it goes down in there.
Yep.
That's so cool. cool.
And like I said, depending on what kind of effect you're looking for, it's got a couple of different blinking settings versus keeping one on. We like this one because you can actually see it in there.
You can.
And what's really cool is you can smoke the glassware before you put anything in it, and then you can double smoke it again after that with any of the cocktails in it. And then you see that smoke sitting in the top of the glass.
What I also love about this is Joe will smoke the ice.
Yes.
So he'll put the ice in the cup. He'll smoke the cup with the ice. Then we can pour whatever we're drinking in there.
And most people don't know about that. If you do that, then the ice is going to get that smoky flavor.
Yes. So then, so then even your ice has that smoky flavor. And what's weird, y'all, I love how this smells just in general.
Open it up. I'm going to see how it.
Let me put you on the bigger screen. That one. There you go.
All right. Is it up there now?
Yep, you're up there.
Sorry, I'm delayed, so I can't really tell.
That's okay.
And you can see there's smoke coming out. Got to be careful. We do have a smoke alarm in here, so I don't really want to set that off.
Yeah, let's not set off the smoke detector because then no one will be able to hear us.
It smells fantastic. If you like this, it's not overpowering as far as the smell of the burnt wood, but it does smell fantastic if you're looking for that smoky flavored drink. Yeah,
I mean, these really are great, and I feel like if you're like us and you have people over at the holidays and you're kind of doing this is a really awesome and really cool party trick, but it also makes it so much easier for Joe to make multiple drinks at once instead of having to do one drink at a time.
And like Jen said, it does come apart real easily. This is a 4-piece frame that comes apart. Very easy to put away if you need to. And it's not that, I mean, it's not extremely heavy, but it is heavy.
Anybody's going to ask you what this is as soon as they see it. They're going to be like, what is that? Because it just looks cool. Somebody says, I love that smoke barrel. I used it during Father's Day. Yes. So Joe got this for Father's Day. It was gifted, to him. It was actually, so I work with Asian Chard on a lot of different things. They sent this to me and he immediately took it as soon as it came in. I'm like, whoa. This was gifted to me. He's like, no. It was gifted to me and it's Father's Day, so it's mine.
So this was sitting on our kitchen island. You're like, why do I have all the parts and stuff on it? Well, this was sitting on our kitchen island from the moment we got it in and tried it out, and it's been used a couple of times since. We got to find space for it in my office upstairs. It's a little easier to get the one in the case up there, but like I said, this is a little bit bigger. And the thing is, what kind of
someone just said? I have to interrupt you because we did not even think to do this. They said that you can smoke cheese.
Yeah.
I need all my cheese cubes in that barrel.
I may need to reconfigure a few things. I do want to have this because it's just so cool to put it on display. Cool. And I might actually put this on top of the bourbon barrel I have in my office. And I think that would be pretty cool.
I knew he would.
But I got to find space for the stuff that's on the bourbon barrel right now.
We also have, hey, you can have different scents throughout the house and everything. We've been using some for a while, and I had one that was like a bourbon barrel scent or something like that. I can already tell you he's going to unplug that, and then he's just going to go in his office every day, light that, let that smell come out in his office so that he can sit there and smell it. It smells absolutely amazing, y'all. It's just good. Okay, now I know that a lot of you are looking for ice makers this Prime Day. Why do I know that? Because I asked my audience. And I would say, I think it was like probably 80 or 90% of the people wrote back in that they were looking for an ice maker this Prime Day. So Joe and I have experience with two different ice makers that we're going to show you all. We're going to show you guys, and then we're also going to talk about it. And then if you have questions while we're going over each one, just let us know because we can answer them.
And I do want to point out, an ice maker, a good quality ice maker, is a significant investment. So
it is.
It's a good idea to get some feedback from somebody before you make that kind of investment.
1000% agree with that. I'm going to go over this one because this is the one that we have right now, and it does have a nice % off for Prime Day if you guys are looking for one. Yes, and Michelle says, I've asked you about an ice maker multiple times, Michelle. Multiple. Okay, so this is the first ice maker, and I think, Michelle, this is the one that I sent to you You'll have to remind me, but we're going to go over 2. So, like I said, this is the one that we have right now. Now, a couple of things that I like about this one specifically. When you guys are watching in that video and I'm just pouring water, it looks like I'm pouring water directly on the part that comes out. There is a lip around the whole edge of the door that swings out to where you can just dump water right on that, and it makes the water go down into the reservoir down below so that it's not spilling and splashing everywhere. The reason that I showed the time on there is because the box says, I believe it said it would make ice within 20 minutes. Is that right, Joe?
15 to 20 minutes.
15 to 20 minutes.
Now, that doesn't mean you have a bunch of ice to use. It just means
Correct.
it starts coming out in about
making the
15 to 20 minutes.
So don't go back in 20 minutes and expect the whole thing to be full. It's just going to start making ice. The other thing that I like about this one is that it did say that it had like a self-cleaning feature to it, which that I think was our issue with our old ice maker. We did not want to clean it as much as we needed to, let's put it that way, and so we didn't. You know, it's like, hey, you need to clean this every 2 months or every 2 weeks or whatever it was, and we would forget. We would see the alert to do it and we just wouldn't do it. The only thing that Joe doesn't like about this that I know, and you can go ahead and say it.
So this one, although on the plus side, it has a sensor to tell you when the water level is low. However, let's say the water level is low and the ice starts melting and the water level gets high enough for it to make ice again. It will not turn back on unless you open the door and close it, and then it'll restart the process. So I think that's the only negative thing we have. One of the positive things that we didn't have with the other one we're going to talk about that we do with this one is it's when you open the door, there's a little lip on the front of it. So when you pour water in, it's not going to spill back out, and you don't need to remove the tray inside to pour water in. You can just pour it into the lip and it'll go down into the water tray. Overall, great ice, no concerns there. It's a little bit lower cost model. It is. It's a little bit lower cost than the other one that we're going to show you guys. So there's also different models. So we have the one that has the window in it because we like to be able to look and quickly see how much ice is in there without having to open it. The other ones don't have the window. That's just kind of your own personal preference, I guess, of what you like. The other thing I thought you were going to say is that there's not a light on the inside of it. Oh, that is the other thing. I thought that's what you were going to say. Because when we first got it, he's like, wait, there's no light on the inside. The other one does have a light on the inside, so I guess it just kind of makes it easier to see. Well, there's the other added bonus to that is, if you do get up at night, or you have things at different ends of the house, or where our ice maker is now is in kind of a, I don't know, the best way I could call it, like a pantry. It's like a pantry area, and I have to turn on the light, whereas before I would just go in and be like, okay, I can see, because it gives off enough light where you can actually see in the area. And especially when we lived in a previous house, we were on the opposite end of the house as our kids were. So as I was walking through the kitchen, I didn't need to flip a light on and blind myself in the middle of the night, because there's enough light coming off of it where if Jen wanted something, especially when she was pregnant, I could go into the kitchen and not kill myself tripping over something and not have to turn the light on either. So I will say, if you're somebody who likes to get a drink at night and likes to get ice at night, you don't have to turn on all your house lights to get in there and get that, which is nice. Plus you can see how much is in there without turning a light on. So I guess that's what we need to do. I'm going to go ahead and move forward, and I'm going to pull up. This was our original ice maker. So when I said we were going over 2, we are going over 2. This was our original ice maker, and whoops, where did it go? I was moving it up, and then oh no, it's all the way up there already. I was just 2 away. Sorry. I have a lot of videos that are just B-roll. We call it B-roll videos to show you guys that I want you to be able to see. So when we were talking about the light, this is the ice maker that has that light that Joe was talking about. This is the GE Profile Opal. It also has an app with it. So that's a little different, but we never used the app. Unless maybe we're like out of town and we forgot to turn it off. But then even if you forget to turn it off and you're out of town, you don't want to turn it off because it might Yeah, and it does
You know?
cycle. One of the advantages to that unit is if, you know, the ice runs low or the water runs low and
Mhm.
the ice is full, and then it starts to, you know, go back into a liquid, then it'll restart. You don't have to
Right.
worry about that.
I mean, the only thing with the ice that this ice maker that I remember doing on the app was saying, you know, hey, I want it to really start making ice around 4 a.m. so that when we're all leaving at 7 a.m. or whatever time we're leaving, there's enough ice for everyone to be able to get it.
And one of the nice things about this is, in addition to having the light inside, it has a little circle on it, and the circle is normally, I believe it was white normally.
Mm-hmm.
If it ran out of water, it would spin blue, and when you turn it on, it would be green, and when it needed something, it would have a spinning yellow or a solid yellow.
Like, it's time to clean me.
So you would know right away as you walk by, it's like, oh, does something need to be done?
Yeah.
You could see that. So it really was, it had a lot of nice functions, and as Jen said, we did get a lot of use out of it.
We did.
I think we had it somewhere between 5 and 6 years.
Yeah.
We got that one, as I said, I know this because I did this when she was pregnant with our second child, and, you know, there's a need for ice water pretty much 24/7. So I was constantly walking to the kitchen to get refills for the ice water.
Y'all hear him wanting your sympathy today.
But fantastic ice maker. Like,
thank you.
really
Michelle's saying, okay, I love this ice. The other thing that's good about the GE is that you can get the one with or without the water reservoir. So we did not have the extra water tank on the side of ours. Because we didn't really want it to like overfill or anything like that. We wanted a little more control over it. And so we had the one that did not have the water reservoir. If you get the one with that, it just kind of pulls water over as it's needed type thing. And so a lot of people like that option a lot better because then they're only having to fill the side water tank instead of opening it to fill water down in the bottom. The quality of ice in both of these machines, though, is excellent. Regardless of which one you get, we loved the Opal. Like Joe said, we had it for 5 or 6 years. When I was pregnant, all I wanted was a cup of ice to just sit and just eat ice constantly. And then it also helped me not eat everything in the house because I was eating ice and staying hydrated. But we opted to get the GV or Jivy, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, to be quite honest with you. We opted to get that one with the window this time just to try something new, to be honest. You know, we said, hey, the Opal, the GE was great. It lasted a lot of years for us. Maybe we'll try a different one this time and see how that goes. And then if we don't like it, we'll go back and get the Opal and we'll just swap them out.
Yep.
No big deal. So hopefully that helps everybody who said they were looking for an ice maker today. I don't know about any of the other models. These are just our two favorite, the two that we have tried and the two that we like. So hopefully that helps. All right, the next item that we're going to be going over, I'm going to switch to Joe's big camera and he's going to hold it up for you all. This thing has really been great for us.
It doesn't come like this.
It does not come like this.
Right now is full of our children's stuffed animals. Just one of theirs. This is my oldest stuffed animals. The vast majority of them are in here because we realized it was much nicer to have what is kind of like a giant beanbag chair. Mm-hmm. It does have a strap on top.
To carry it with.
And
to tote it across the floor.
I will open the zipper slightly, but I don't want anything to spill out. But essentially, you just fill it with all your soft stuffed toys, stuffed animals, whatever they may be. Mm-hmm. And then the kids can use it as a beanie chair or a pillow or whatever they might want to do.
Right.
But we have another one of these. I think it's in blue or gray.
We do.
So they have a couple of different colors that you can get with it. I've also
gifted them to all of our nieces because both of my sister-in-laws and grandmas and everybody complain about all the stuffed animals that are all over the room, and we've got all these toys and we don't have anywhere to put them, and we're filling up all these totes. That one beanbag right there took out 4 totes. The big tall canvas totes from our toy room. 4 of them.
Like I said, this is pretty heavy. It's probably about 30 pounds of stuffed animals in here.
We got way too many stuffed animals, but it's a way to kind of collect them all, put them in one place. It gives the stuffed animals a dual use where then they can become a beanbag chair for the kids to sit on. And what I like about it as well is, my kids don't have asthma or anything like that, but I also know that stuffed animals can collect a lot of dust, collect a lot of who even knows what. And with the puppy coming today, if they put all their stuffed animals in that bean bag, at least the stuffed animals are not out for the puppy to destroy them. Right?
For now.
We'll
see how long it holds up.
So we do work with Logie, and 5 Star is a partner of Logie. We were not given that item, but we do earn additional earnings off of that. So I just want to point that out. But realistically, we have loved them so much. We have 2 of them ourselves. I have gifted 2 to one side of the family, 2 to the other side of the family, and I've even gifted some to my mother as well. They are fabulous. Okay, the next item we're going to be going over is the Husqvarna. Now, all questions about the Husqvarna need to go to Joe. Because I had very, very minimal, and I mean like so minimal that I think all I did was put the box cutter to the box as far as the setup of this or anything else with it. So,
all right,
go for it.
So what am I doing on my phone? I'm going to show you what I'm going to do doing on my phone because I forgot to log in before we started for the Husqvarna.
What do you mean?
So this is the Automower 430X.
Mm-hmm.
So it comes with a kit. I think might have to check the wording, but I believe it was like 700 or 800 yards of actual line, plus the actual docking station and a power cord converter that will plug into an exterior outlet.
Mm-hmm.
We initially set it up just to make sure it worked when we got it, and about what'd you say, maybe about a 50 by 20 area of our front yard.
It was one of the sides parts of our front yard because we wanted to see how it was going to work.
Yeah. So I mean, it's really, you have your line that'll run across the exterior of your property or around trees or however you need to do it depending on your property, how it's done. Comes with very clear instructions, like if you have a fence, you need to put the line this many inches off the fence. If it's a raised area like a patio, you need to have it this far off the patio to be able to put it there and run the line. So it does come with detailed instructions on how to do that. It has another set of wires that's called a guide wire that you connect so that it'll come out the front and home back into the storage area where it's charging. That has to go into the exterior line. Not
it does
bad.
Come with like a cool house. I mean, it doesn't come with it, but you can also get a cool house for it too.
Yeah.
If you're worried about it being out in the weather.
Yeah. So there's options that you can buy. It's customizable. What I was trying to load in is the app. So the nice thing about the app is your unit is GPS locatable. So it will show you, and I can't do it now because it's stopped and disconnected. It's telling me that. It's telling me what the battery power was the last time it was connected. I can select more details. It'll tell me what's going on. It has a map, and it'll show you the last location it was at within the map,
in front of our home,
which is pretty cool. And you can go in here and you can actually turn it on, turn it off, and set a schedule from the app itself. You can also turn it on directly on the back of the mower.
Yeah.
And the great thing about this is not just anybody can come up to the mower and turn it on. You have to plug in an access code to start it. And you can select what you want to do. You can program different areas of your yard so it's not mowing all the time. It'll mow area A or 1 on this day, B or 2 on this day. And it's always going to home back into its location when it's done. And the thing is, if somebody tries to pick it up or leave with it, it'll also alert you on the app.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of nice features for using it, and if you really don't want to pay somebody else to mow your lawn and have a lawn that's relatively easy to set up a line around the perimeter of it, it really is a good option because Jen knows it'll pay for itself in a little over 1 season.
We already looked up. We're like, okay, this is how much we pay for mowing right now. This is how much this was. Literally, even if we pay someone to come and install the whole boundaries for us, in less than a season, it's going to have already paid for itself.
It'll pay for itself.
Yeah. And I think I'm like well more than pay for itself. But this runs, it's not very loud is what I want to get
Correct.
at.
It's hard to hear. It's
hard to hear that it's even on. And it is supposed to mow your lawn so that your lawn looks like carpet. And it's supposed to help your lawn like stay healthier, basically. Yeah. And then where Joe was saying that you can schedule it to go at different times, I did have someone ask me one time, well, what do you do if it's like thunderstorming and it's supposed to start and it's already started and you don't realize it? You can send it right back to its home.
Yeah, you can send a notification. There are all kinds of features. I don't know if it has a weather feature on it. I didn't use that, but
yeah.
One of the nice things is, the top portion of it is plastic, and even where the computer functions have a plastic cover that you have to pop open, so it is protected. If it does happen to start going around in the rain, that's fine. Another thing I forgot to mention, it has lights.
It does have
so
lights.
it can run at night, and you will be able to see it running, or somebody else or an animal will be able to see it coming at them, because it does have lights that will turn on.
And we have all kinds of wildlife around us. I mean, I think there's more wildlife where we live than there are people in our neighborhood, even though we're in a neighborhood. We see deer at our front door on a nightly basis, eating all of my flowers. We see skunk. We see baby skunk. We see possum. We see cats. We see wild cats. We see dogs. We see.
And if you're wondering what I'm glancing at my phone at, I see my own wildlife running around the house as I get notifications that they're running into rooms that I have no idea why they're in.
Because they know that we're down here. He's watching them on if you guys ever wonder why Joe is constantly looking down at his phone while we're live streaming, it's because we have some of the cameras that I'm going to go over today watching those youngins upstairs.
We also have the kids that can't wait for you to leave the room because that's when they usually do something they shouldn't be.
I feel like that's all kids, though. I feel like it's like, hey, I see an opportunity and I'm going to take it.
So now I got to move.
Now I'm going to go over. We're going to let Joe pull over. This is a Celestron.
You're going to have to tell me if it's right
in, it's
view.
right in view right there.
Can you see everything? Does it look good?
Yep, looks
all
good.
Right.
This is the Celestron Nexstar. This is a 6SE. It is a telescope. I do want to point out, Joe's going to be going over.
Can you see this low on it?
No, you cannot see that.
Pull that off. Okay.
Joe's going, but you can move the camera if you want to.
I mean, I'll just lift it up. I don't want to.
Okay.
Take it off.
He's going to go over the telescope itself and then also the additional backup battery pack for it. One thing that I want to note that I noticed today about a lot of the Celestron Nexstar items is that a lot of the additional add-on items are on Prime Day deal today. So make sure that you're looking at all of those add-on items if you decide to invest in one of these telescopes as well. Go for it, Joe.
All right, so this is the Celestron Nexstar 6SE telescope. It's one of their most popular lines. They do come in a couple of different sizes. So they have a 4SE, a 5SE, and an 8SE, which is the big boy. But we got one that we felt was, reasonable price for what we were looking for and had all the functions we were looking for as well. One of the things I want to point out is it does come with a computerized control, XYZ access. So the other thing is I'm going to get the number right, but there's tens of thousands of celestial objects programmed in here. And it's got a system in it where if you point at 3 given objects in the night sky, that given with the fact that you program it with where you live, what time of day it is, and the date, it'll know what's supposed to be in the sky at that point, and then it can essentially go to anywhere you select from the memory on here. It also can connect to a computer. It can connect to an app, depending on what accessories you buy. And one of the things that we enjoyed is, I think it was late last summer, Jupiter was in the sky for a good portion of the summer. And once this came in and it was a clear enough night, we took the girls out to take a look at it. And they could see Jupiter. They could see the red spot. They could see 2 of the moons. And so they were really excited about that. I think we're going to have to try to see Saturn at some point this summer. I know Venus is out there and pretty bright right now. One of the things I will recommend that you get with this, and I'm going to lift it up so you can see it, it's called a power tank. Also made by Celestron, and you kind of tell me if you can see it.
Yep, you can
It's
see
strapped right onto the leg, which is great. It
Yeah.
fits perfectly. It's got a Velcro strap. We charged this once and haven't had to charge it again. Now, we don't use the telescope that often, but it holds a charge for an extended amount of time. And it just plugs right in, because otherwise you're going to be going through a lot of AA batteries to run the motor.
Well, hello.
We have a little one that popped down.
We've got wildlife coming in the room. Hey.
So one of the other things we don't have on the live stream, but I do want to point out, this is the NextYZ attachment. If you want to use, as Jen said, there are other attachments that are on deal right now. I'm not sure if this one is, but you can put your phone in here. It doesn't matter what brand, it'll fit, and you can use it to potentially take pictures of what you're seeing. So we do have that attachment. It is heavy, so it is high quality. It's about 30 pounds, give or take. I can move it, not a big deal. I brought it down here for the live stream. But you do want to make sure that you're careful. They do make carrying cases for it as well. So you do have some options, and you can accessorize it however way you want. They have different objectives to put in, different magnifications. So it also comes with this handy dandy laser pointer if you're trying to see what you want to look at. And I did have to align it to make sure I had that done well. But this is a great item. Kids love it. They were asking us to get one for years. And they're very happy with it.
Tell everyone how many years you took to buy this telescope.
It's not that it took me that many years. It's that the pandemic happened and all the parts needed for this were unavailable. So anywhere you tried to go and buy one, you couldn't really find it. So
now they're available.
Now they're available, and I believe they're selling like hotcakes.
They are. It's one of our top selling items every single year. Realistically, we like to go out on the back porch. We get our solo stove out. We make s'mores. We look at the stars. Sometimes we might do a giant inflatable screen, and do movie night afterwards. We just like to be outside and outdoors as a family.
And there's all kinds of cool things you can do. Like I said, you can hook it up to a computer. You can put a digital camera hooked up to your computer on it, so you can live view. You can take pictures of what you're seeing. We had fantastic views of the moon when we were looking at it and testing it out.
I was not expecting it to be as good as it was. I know that sounds bad, but I wasn't. And I looked and I'm like, wow, that's nice. I mean, it is a good telescope. So if you're looking for one, we do recommend it. All right, this next item I am going to go over myself.
So you may want to ask, it's still in the packaging, but Jen's going to go into the details on that.
I'm going to tell why. This is a NOCO Boost Plus, okay? And a lot of you are going, well, what do I need that for? Actually, I'm going to go over and let Joe talk too. We went with my mother on vacation last week to Dollywood. You have to turn your flashers on your car for like her handicap parking so that they know that that's where she's going. My mother left the flashers on her vehicle, got out of her vehicle, and walked away. So 10 plus hours later, when we go back to that vehicle, do you guys think her car was starting? No, it was not. Joe had to help her figure out how to manually use a key to get into her car because it's the one with, it's got all the bells and whistles and gadgets and things like that. She couldn't figure out how to get in her car. My brother was asking security hey, do you have jumper cables? Because my mom didn't have jumper cables. He didn't have jumper cables. And we had someone getting in their truck next to us pull out one of these bad boys. This is a Boost Plus Ultra Safe Jump Starter. You do not have to hook up to another vehicle. So if your car stops on the side of the road, there's no one else for you to ask. No one else has jumper cables. All you have to do is get this out of your trunk and restart your car yourself.
So one of the things I do want to point out is I used to have, you might hear people call these battery packs because that's really what they are. I had a big one that looked like a bowling bag in the back of my truck previously. Eventually that did die. I have not bought a replacement. And I can tell you I've been looking at this specific brand, I think since Black Friday last year. I didn't pull the trigger last year because I had just replaced a battery in one of the cars. So I was like, oh, I probably don't need it. But it was this exact brand, this exact model. And as soon as the guy pulled it out of his truck and started walking over, it's like, I know what that is.
Joe was like, oh,
I know what that is.
I know. This is da-da-da. And I'm going, what is that? And why is he
And the nice
bringing
thing
it
about
over
this
here?
model, one of the reasons I liked it, is it also has a flashlight, USB charger. I can't remember what other port it has on it. So it does have some handy little gadgets on it as well if you would like to use it.
It says on here that it recharges smartphones, tablets,
Correct.
and other USB devices when you need them the most. You can boost from any powered USB port. Then on this side, it also says that it can safely jumpstart dead batteries on most gasoline vehicles up to 6 liters or 3-liter diesel. And I know that this one specifically, I think it said it has like 20 charges? There's so many charges that each one has before you obviously need to,
But I want to go back to the fact that I had a battery charger before, and it was about the size of a small bowling bag. What I want to point out to this one,
it's very compact.
It's not very big at all. It's about an inch thick and maybe 3 by 6
it literally looks like this right here.
So it's about the size of the box, but the width of the box, it's very, maybe about an inch thick.
It's only like this big. Like this big of the box.
So it definitely worth it. That's why we immediately bought one, because now we're going to have one in at least one of our cars. And it'll likely, whenever we do take it on a trip, that'll likely be what we take with us in that car, because it doesn't take up a lot of space, and it works quite well, as we found out this past week.
Yeah, so for over the past week, I have bought this for my car, and then I also bought the Vac Life, which is to do the tire pressure on the tires. Because I don't like having to try to locate a gas station that you have to put money in to get air to put in your tires if you need air in your tires. So I just bought the small compact one that works with your car to do your own car right there directly, and then this as well. So this will sit with my Vac Life in the back trunk organizer, and it's just gonna stay there. So Joe saw this come in today, and he was really jealous. He's like, you got one? And I think he thought it was for him. But I checked him real quick. Okay. Joe, I'm going to let Joe go over. I don't know how I should say this. I have robot vacuums all over the house. I like my robot vacuums. Joe, on the other hand, he likes his cordless stick vacuum because he wants to go directly to the spot where there's something that has to get up and get it up, instead of trying to like program a robot to go over there or just hoping that the robot goes over there. So I'm going to let him talk to you about this, because Joe did a TikTok back around the holidays where he was vacuuming up all of the needles from the Christmas tree, and this quickly became one of our top sellers.
So I do want to start with saying I started looking, through the website, looking at the reviews, and this one generally came up towards the top. So I did my research first. It's the Voweek cordless stick vacuum. One of the things I do want to point out I didn't bring the tool down here, but it does come with a nice little tool if you ever get hair caught up in the roller down here to help remove it. You can use a utility knife too. I want to show some of the features, because it is completely modular. So depending on what you're doing, what you want to use it for, like I said, you might get hair stuck in here, but I like doing this live because then you can pull it out and show how easy it is to pull it out, remove any hair that you may need to get rid of from it, pop it back in, just make sure it gets on there correctly, and everything pops right back into place and is ready to use. I know I have 3 girls in this house, and I am always cleaning.
Are you complaining about us
I am
being
always
messy?
cleaning hair out of these, but it's fine.
I mean,
it's
come
also got a
look at, I have long hair.
Telescoping, so that, depending on how tall you are, or if you're doing stairs like I tend to do, you can adjust it. It also has this nice tool where you got one way, if you want to have harder surfaces that, or if you're going to be using it in the car, it has another with the brush, the soft brush, if you're trying to get something out of a rug, or you just have a surface where maybe the flat surface is just getting stuck to it. Both of them work quite well. One of the other things I do want to point out, and it is charged, by the way, I'll just show everybody, it does work.
Exactly, so if they want to know how loud it gets.
It's got 2 settings, and it does have lights as well on the front of it.
I love those lights. So the reason I love the lights though, so my closet rarely gets vacuumed, and for some reason my pantry rarely gets vacuumed. And if you leave the light off in the room, but then you leave the light on that, you can see everything that you're getting up super easily. Sorry, I just had to.
And like I said, it does, some of the things I want to point out are the tools and the extras. It does come with a little tool to get a hair removal tool that you can use on that. It's very easily, it pops open. You have a steel filter to get any of the big stuff, and it does have a little HEPA filter that comes with it too, which it also comes with a replacement. So you don't have to worry about that. They do sell them as well. I didn't get all of that out before I brought it down here.
That's okay. It shows that we use it, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I like it. It comes with a cordless, or it comes with a charger as well. I do want to point this out. It only turns on. It has a light indicator up here, so you can see how many bars of power it has.
Have you used that in the cars yet?
I have used it.
You could also be used.
I have used it in the car.
Yeah.
So I have used it in the car to get into the crevices and on the floor because it does have very good suction. So this is now my go-to vacuum indoors and outdoors for any areas that we have and may need it for.
Our chat was not working on the iPad, and then I looked over and I saw people actually sending chats in. So something's up with that. But I am looking multiple places for if you guys have questions. All right, do you want to go over that, or
Sure.
do you want me to? Okay, all right, go for it.
This is, was it the Geo Safari Junior?
Yep.
Talking microscope. I will turn it on. Hopefully they didn't kill the battery.
Hi, I'm Bindi Irwin from the Australia Zoo. Let's explore together.
So I don't know if you heard that. Bindi Irwin from the Australia Zoo.
I love her voice.
So one of the things I will point out is it does have options for you to make them ask questions depending on what animal you put in there. So for example, this one is spiders, and it has different slots on it. So when you put it in, so it knows exactly what the kids are going to see in here. And you have a magnifying glass for facts, and then you have a question button for questions. You also have a volume button, and then depending on the question they ask, they have kind of a true, false, or a 1, 2, 3. So it's not
so
just
answer the quiz.
Them being able to look in here and see, you know, a black widow spider. They can also learn more about that.
And show how many, I mean, you get a ton of slides.
You get a lot of different slides. So I pulled the black widow spider there, and other spiders. This one has fish on it.
It's all kinds of different, like, animals and species, and
you know, this one has snowflakes.
Yeah.
So you can learn. Your kids can easily learn a lot and see, you know, different things that they're interested in. So both of our kids, each one has one because they were fighting over it. So I can tell you that the kids love them. They
do. That microscope has been one of my top sellers for multiple years. So I had no problem like grabbing another one because, you know, it well pays for itself. But we do like a school center, and we have a classroom upstairs for my kids. Now my kids go to school, but we also have a school room because there's a lot of things that I feel like they need a little extra help with, or things to get them away from the TV basically. And so I can sit both of my kids at their little table up in their room, give them these and say, okay, I want you guys to find the spiders. We're going to look at the spiders and learn about the spiders. And even you can ask them additional questions with this as well. They love being interactive with this. It is a great gift. I have a 3, almost 4-year-old and a 6-year-old, and Poppy's been doing it since she was, 2? So it's really great for a range of ages for kids, and it's very educational, and it's a toy that is also teaching them something. So I think that's why it's been one of our top sellers. Another top seller of ours for 2 or 3 years now is this potty seat. that Joe is going to show you, and he's going to tell you why we think it's been one of our top sellers.
So you have a little, we have a little storage container up here, whether you want to put wipes up there or anything else, bags, whatever it may be. It does have the toilet paper holder here, which until we bought this one, we didn't really have an option for toilet paper with it. It just kind of was there. The cool thing about this is it pops off. Sorry. It's on there good enough where it's good. And it's been a while because thankfully our little ones are doing much better with potty training. They don't want your kids to get it off, I'll tell you that much. All right, I'm going to have trouble with this because I haven't done it. I can't get it off the top.
I think she sat on it.
Yeah. But, well, you know, it has the removable seat. It's got a little pan in here as well. And I was trying to show you that you can pull the bottom off of this. If there's any, it's a step, or if anything spills over into the bottom, you can do that, and it's not so bad. We've sanitized this, so
yeah.
I wouldn't be touching this openly if I hadn't. But, you know, it is one of the things I will say, our youngest preferred this one and used this one
the most.
Much more readily than she wanted to use the other ones. And it made it easier for her to transition into using the big potty, which is why we're not really using this one that much, but since it was such a top seller for us and it was so good for, you know, what we were doing.
Oh, she would still use it if you put it up there.
And we do have younger relatives that may end up coming to the house and may need access to something like this. So it's compact, it's lightweight. Like I said, I'm even having trouble popping the top off. I have to look back and seeing how to do it. So it's not one of these things where the kids can pull it out and break it apart. That being said, they can and have pulled the potty seat out or tried to dump the inner container themselves. So you do need to watch them when you're using it, but it is by far the best one that we've purchased. And we have had 3 or 4 different ones, right?
Oh, we've had more than 3 or 4 different ones. My mother, so Gigi, had this at her house, and my older daughter, even though she uses a large potty, she was choosing to go sit on this too because she thought it was so cool because you can have your own little toilet paper right there at you. You don't have to like reach over and find something.
Correct.
And because she thought it was so cool, then my younger was like, okay, yeah, this is cool. Then we get home and we're realizing, how are you guys doing so great at Gigi's house using the little potty there? And then you come home and you're just not doing it. So I got one for my house, and that solved that problem real quick.
You may be asking, does it smell? And I will share a funny story because we have live streamed with this before. And I will, and our little,
not clean it.
Our little at the time was still using this, and she had closed the top, and I had not known at the time that she had gone. Number 2. And, you know, it's one of those things where...
So the whole live stream got to see it.
No. I opened it up and was quickly like, okay. But, you know, that's why it does have a lid. It's not just, you know, to prevent somebody from dropping something into it or playing around with it. If after they go, if they close it, it is going to prevent that odor from spreading out throughout the house.
And I'll also say, because we have had multiple, like Joe said, we've had multiple different potty seats, potty chairs, you name it. And I feel like as far as the mess goes, this one by far was the least messy.
And it's easy to clean.
And it's easy to clean. Super easy to clean. So I think that's why that's probably been one of our top selling items for so long. All right, this next item. So we are the Butler today. We have sponsored items. All of the Butler items are marked down through the 12th. So I want to point that out to everyone. Through the 12th, you're going to find markdowns on all of the Butler items that we're going to go over. This is probably my favorite. It's also the kids' favorite. This is a silicone mat. It's large. You guys see how big this is? It's large because you want to have whatever they're working on, their coloring, their painting, their stickers, their Play-Doh, their clay, their glue, whatever they're doing, on this mat so that it's easy to clean. What's also nice about this is you can pop up this little water cup right here if you need it. Or let's say you need to store something that's a little messier in here, or you need to pop this up and put, I don't know, like some little sparkle balls in here that's going to hold it, but then you need to move it. It has a magnetic cup on the bottom. So then you can move it closer to your child if it's needed. I've had people ask me like, hey, can I use this as a food mat? Sure, we use it as a craft mat and an art mat up in our schoolroom, but you could use this for a food mat if you wanted to start putting like some little foods in here, or some like stick things right here, or even a whole little bowl of stuff, and just move it closer to them. And these are super easy to clean, super easy to clean and wipe down. We've had other mats like this before, and they were so thin you could almost see through them, and that was not getting it with my kids. We needed one that was thicker like this. I mean, look how thick this is. It's super thick, super easy to wipe down. My kids had those paint markers the other day, and they had gotten the paint marker all over this thing. I went by and just wiped it off with my finger. So all I did was take a wet wipe and I gave it to them, and I told them to go clean their mat down, and they did. This pops back down. As you saw, it was super easy to fold up. It's really nice to just kind of fold it up and store it. We gifted these to our cousins on the last trip that we were on so that they could have an art mat and do messy, fun things as well. This is what I'm on right here. Sorry, I forgot to click. And they come in pink and also blue. I think it's called Ocean and Jellyfish. This is the one that is Ocean. The next item that I'm going to go over is also a Butler item. You all will often see in my photos this ring around the bottom of my cups. This is a water bottle bumper. They come in multiple different colors. This one is the glitter bomb. Probably this one and the funfetti are the top sellers. But I do like the neon pink and the blue and everything else as well. We have all of the colors at my house. There's also a marble blue and a purple and blue that we call the hippie, that is for Miss Eiley. You might be asking, okay, but what is the point of this? If you all have ever rode in a car with your kids' cups in the back and you hear clanking and knocking the entire ride, that sound drives me insane. This bumper holds the cup in place, and it makes that knocking sound a whole lot less if you even hear it at all. The other reason that I like having these on my cup is because a lot of times I will just kind of clang my cup down on a piece of furniture. I have seen these cups take out pieces of furniture before, put dents in the furniture, scratch the cup or the furniture, or both, which I hate that as well. No one likes having a brand new cup. This is a Brewmate. These fit the Stanley, big 40 ounces as well. No one likes having a brand new cup and then you've got marks all over the bottom because you've dropped it, right? I also have 2 kids and I'm getting a puppy today. So if I need to give the puppy some water, I can take this off, give the puppy some water, put it right back on the bottom of my cup. If my kids are complaining that they want some of my chicken nuggets, which they always do, but they don't have anything to put it in for me to give it to them, I can put the sauce in here with some nuggets in here, and it is contained in something that is easily washable. My youngest also puts tiny Oreos in here as well. Snack cups. So these are on the bottom of my kids' cups that go to school, and they're also on the bottom of my cups. So these have become very popular, and these are also marked down through the 12th as well. The next item from the Butler is probably one of my personal favorites. It's my giant gold travel case. And you guys, this Butler is the cutest thing. Look how cute he is. The Butler. And just so you guys know, the name the Butler came from that man sitting right there. That is Daddy Joe Butler. Literally, Daddy Joe Butler. So the Butler is the brand of Daddy Joe's children. This is a gold case. It's my makeup case. I get asked about this a lot when people see me with it. My sister-in-law came downstairs and I was getting ready at the kitchen counter while we were on vacation. And she goes, "That's a cool gadget. What's that?" You open it up. It has a mirror on the inside. You can turn the light on the mirror. There's 3 different modes for the mirror. You can also hold the light and it will dim and also brighten it as you hold it. And then you can also turn it off if you don't want the light. There is a brush organizer. As you guys can see, I use this brush organizer and the whole base holds a whole lot of stuff. Typically, I will have my jewelry in here. I'll also have my makeup in here. Anything that's small that might get lost in the luggage, I will put in here. Then you simply close it all back. I leave my little foam piece in here, even though you don't have to. And the mirror is rechargeable by a USB cable. So I have not had to charge mine yet. And I've had this for a couple of months now. So the charge does stay. I've taken this on multiple trips as well. And I love the sparkly gold color. Makes a great gift, just so you guys know. Joe, I will let you go over the smock right behind you.
All right. So these have become invaluable to us. We used them heavily on the last trip we took. So they are Let Them Be Little smocks. They do have the butler on the bottom. And what I will point out is there are pockets here. So if they do want to store things like paintbrushes or crayons or anything else while they're using them. Stuffed animals. Or unfortunately, food maybe makes its way down there if they're wearing them while they're eating.
Sticks.
They're Velcro in the back to keep them on. You know, when our kids are wearing clothes, we don't really want them to get stains on when they're, especially when they're eating something like pizza or spaghetti or ribs. You know, you want to make sure that they're not going to get stains on their clothing.
And you might say, how often is your child eating those things? A lot. Because our children eat everything. They want everything. They love sauce. If it has sauce, they want it. And they're going to try everyone else's as well. And for those of you that follow me, you know I'm a huge Lily Pulitzer fan. Joe and I are matching in Lily clothes today for this live stream for Prime Day. My children often also have on Lily clothes. Lily clothes are resellable after your children grow out of them. I have found they are probably the best for resale value for me to keep trading clothes up to get for my children. So I don't want them to ruin their outfit so that I can't resell it to get money for it later. So these are a must-have. Originally, these were just for art and crafts, and they're waterproof, easy on and off, easy to rinse off. They fold up really nicely. The thing that I like about this Velcro being lower on their back is that it's not up around their neck choking them, because my youngest would always complain about her bibs saying, it's choking me, it's choking me, the ones that tie in the back. So we specifically designed this to have the Velcro towards the middle of the back so that it keeps everything on and completely over the shoulders and protects the whole garment. So we have a 3, almost 4-year-old all the way up to 6-year-old that wear these, and they go with us everywhere. Everywhere. Okay, the next item I'm going to show you is also from the Butler. I just have to find it. It's right here. This is my favorite. You guys can see my eye cream in there, and you see it looks like it's empty. It's not. I pay way too much for skincare for me to not get every single last drop of this eye gel cream, whatever this is. For me personally, it says the Butler on the front, and it is a copper. All you do is you spin this. My girls' toothpaste also sit in one of these because it allows the toothpaste to sit up like this. And then my kids are not squeezing and squeezing and squeezing toothpaste everywhere. All they're doing is taking the lid off, and the toothpaste is already there waiting for them, and they know to just turn this if it's not, so that it automatically pushes it up for them, and then this sits out on the counter so that it's good to go. These, fantastic. Helps with toothpaste not being everywhere, helps with my skincare. Another item I'm going to go over, because I've had people ask me what this is before. This is my pluggable, it's a USB-C hub. It allows me to have additional USB ports on my computer. It also has an additional C drive, and it can read disk cards, so your SD card and your micro SD card. What's nice about this being a USB-C is I am an Android user, so when my phone starts getting full of content, as it usually does, I can plug this pluggable into my phone and I can export my videos, my photos, whatever I need to export onto a USB, little flash drive or an SD card or anything that can also hook up here. You can also hook up an HDMI monitor for an additional monitor on the back side of this if you would like to use this. It's just a very portable way for me to quickly get things off of my phone and onto my computer to be able to work with them. You can also take your SD card from any of those cameras. So I have a Sony, I also have a Nikon camera, and I can take my SD card and get all of those files off quickly and not have to wait for them to upload anywhere with this pluggable. It is also on deal. You need one, trust me. Okay, Joe, would you like to talk about your record player?
Yeah, so the Victrola 6-in-1 Bluetooth record player is pretty sweet. I got this, was it last year?
Actually, we have the 8-in-1, so I tagged the wrong one, but we can still talk about it.
All right, but in either case, it just, how many additional ways can you listen to music and get added into that? So, you have the record player, you have CD player, you have
8-track.
No, not 8-track. Radio, you'll have, it can connect to your phone. It can be used as a Bluetooth speaker. We bought it primarily to use as a record player for some of the old records I had from my grandparents, as well as some of the new ones that we've brought in-house since then. It's just kind of nice to be able to have that, and it looks cool. The kids like it. They'll be dancing to the music in there. We can turn it up loud enough where we can hear it upstairs, and while we're cleaning the kids' room or doing something else up there, we can play Elvis or something else throughout the house.
They like to dance in the main room. Yeah. They boogie. They get down and boogie. When we feel like the kids have just had way too much TV and they're, all hyped up on sugar and they're just running around the house. I mean, sometimes it's good, or we have headaches from all the different sounds and things going on. Sometimes it's just really good for us to just go put on a record, like go put on some Elvis, turn everything else off, and my youngest will give like an interpretive dance in the main room. And a lot of times my oldest will just kind of lay there and listen to the music. I gave this to Joe as an anniversary gift. Was it last year?
Last year.
Last year. Because we had that space in our built-in cabinets that was for a TV from like, the 80s or 90s. Just a small space and nothing to go in it. And I thought this would look great. And then it has the doors that come up around it and close. So we've gotten a lot of use out of this. And I saw that it had a really great Prime Day deal today. So I wanted to add it on here. The next thing I'm going to talk about, Joe's going to roll his eyes at me because he thinks that I'm a little over the top when it comes to these. And I don't think that I am.
Yeah, I was looking for the box. I don't think we have the box up here right now.
It would have been over by you if we did have it.
Yeah.
These are the Blink outdoor cameras. The thing that I want to point out about these cameras is that they can literally go anywhere. They do not have to be plugged in. They run on a battery. The battery on these cameras lasts for about 2 years. I have one out back screwed into a tree trunk. I have another one on a zip tie that's over on a tree out front. I have one that's on a zip tie on the deck around a lamp post, like the outdoor light. When we were in Florida, I had them on the driveway, which is how I caught people coming with their dog to go potty on my front door. I had them on the pool, so we know if whenever the pool cleaner's there, or if there's someone around the pool that shouldn't be there, it would say, hey, like there's someone out by the pool. What is going on? It also has where you can look at all of the cameras. You can also set up like motion detection for all of these. They're super easy to set up. The reason I say they don't have to be outdoor, even though they are all weatherproof. We had a cleaner come to our house while I was on vacation, and one of the plug-in cameras just happened to be unplugged. However, my camera that is like this does not have a plug, and so a lot of people are not looking for this. They're looking for something plugged in to go unplug. I have these setting all over the house, in my closet, in my room, in the kids' room, so that I can see like what's going on and not have to worry about a plug. Now, we do have some things that have gone missing since we had that cleaner. And my husband said, well, she unplugged the camera that was looking at that area. So that must be why she accidentally unplugged this camera. So for me, I want more of these that no one's looking for, that you can just set them out different places and they don't know that it needs to be unplugged because it's still going to be watching them. So that's why they're my favorite. I have them all around the house, inside and out as well. The next thing I'm going to talk about is I believe it's called Eero, right? The Eeros. Yeah. Joe has the box for these. I'm also going to run a video while he talks about them. Yep. Go ahead.
So the one that we have, marked is for 3 units. So we initially, we had a little bit smaller house, so we had 2 units.
I thought we had I saw the 3 sitting there.
We have 3. So we initially bought the 2, which has the base unit and then 1 extension. So that says up to 3,000 square feet. The unit we have connected says up to 4,500 square feet because each of the individual hubs covers about 1,500 square feet. So we have 3 because we have a basement, a first floor, and a second floor. So we have 1 on each floor to make sure that we have good signal on each level. Easy to hook up. I think Jen,
I hooked these up.
Maybe I hooked them up.
In Florida, I hooked them up.
But I had to figure out how to rehook them up. So one of the things I do want to point out is it also comes with an app.
It does.
So you can see here, it says, we may not be able to see it, but it says internet, basement, family room, hallway. Kind of where we have the locations, what the signal strength is. You can even do tests. One of the things I do want to point out is if you do move from one location to another, I couldn't figure out why we couldn't get anything to work. I have internet signal, couldn't get it to work. We had to uninstall these on the app and then reinstall it, and then everything worked fine. It's very easy to follow, very easy to set up. They do have support lines if you need support on it, because the first time we set it up, we did need to call in to make sure we were setting everything up correctly.
They were great.
Yeah, but once we figured out what we were doing wrong, it's very easy to set up, and each additional time we've had to set it up, it works fantastic. Rarely have an issue with signal.
I have to have these as a content creator because there's no way that we could be streaming shows on TVs upstairs, everybody on different devices, me down here streaming to all of you across multiple devices, plus our phones going and tablets going. It's just you don't realize how much you have hooked up to a Wi-Fi that's really stressing it until it stops working on you.
And one thing I will point out is I think these are a little bit older units. This says speeds up to 500 megabytes on these. The new units, which is the 6 Plus, is gigabit speed.
Oh.
If your provider goes up to that high.
Maybe I need to upgrade. No, they work great. I mean, I have absolutely no complaints because those Wi-Fi cameras that I was just showing you with those Blink cameras, I told you I have cameras all over my house. They call this like a fort for a reason. Like I'm looking at you standing in my backyard, golfer, just so you know. I can see everything going on in every room, around the house, in the house, everything. Those cameras take up Wi-Fi. So we have to have things like this specifically for that reason. All right. The next item that I'm going to go over is another one of my, what I would call like portable things that I use, and I do get a lot of questions on it. This is a pluggable keyboard. Yep, this is a keyboard. I take this with me when I travel because I have a lot of emails that come in just randomly from whoever, like wanting information right then. And if I'm sitting on my phone, trying to sit here and answer all these emails, it's going to take me forever. So the case around this becomes a stand. You can put your phone, your tablet, whatever you're using that you need to answer with in there. And then this keyboard from Pluggable unfolds like so. See that? And it's a Bluetooth. So it Bluetooths directly onto my phone, and I can sit and use this keyboard and answer 100 emails in the time that it would take me all day, just in maybe 20 minutes. This is one of my favorite things just to pack just in case, because I never know if something's going to come in and then all of a sudden I have to try to make a whole, you know, contract for it and send it back, or if they're going to ask me for all this information and it's going to take me forever. Because how many times have you all been sitting on your phone trying to fill out a survey or trying to fill out something somebody sent you, and then you have to go look something up, and then when you go back, everything that you just typed is cleared out, and you have to start all over again. You're going, ah. So I like taking this keyboard with me. It's been great so far, and I travel with it a lot. The other thing that I want to show you guys is the docking station that we used for Joe's office. And Joe can tell you this was easy to set up. I mean, it was literally plug and go.
Yeah, it is called Pluggable. So
it is called Pluggable for a reason.
So we had initially set up, you know, just a single monitor, but it has space for up to 3. We did end up getting a second monitor and hook that up as well. We have the wireless keyboard, mouse, camera. We have a USB camera put into that. So it is running all of those quite readily. It runs off of it does have a USB-C plug into the computer as well, which is great. And it has multiple USB hookups, including Lightning USB, which is also great. So plenty of options if you need to use it. We haven't had any issues. We love it. You know, I've had docking stations in the past that don't always connect, don't always work. We have had no issues with this one since we started using it a couple months ago.
No, it's honestly been great. I mean, I almost feel, so I have the larger version down here for me. It's called the Thunderbolt. So if you guys start looking at all the pluggable devices, I have the Thunderbolt, which is, it stands up like a tower. It has multiple different HDMI. It has a ton of USBs on it. And I have 3 cameras, 2 lights, a laptop, a monitor, like all, my mouse, like everything plugged into this thing, and it still is, I mean, it's going. Well, I've been very, very happy with all of Pluggable's devices, and I know that a lot of their devices are going to be on Lightning deals. So my suggestion to you is to add these things to your cart during our stream, and then if it's not on deal right now, make sure that you're watching for the Lightning deals. The next item that we're going to go over is probably something that I wasn't so sure about at first. We were first introduced to this in a local store, and they said, you know, hey, this is one of the top toys this year. And I'm going to toss it to you because I'm awful with this thing.
Well, I think we have a different one shared right now.
I do. So all of the Shishibos are going to be on deal for Prime Day. I'm not showing it on my side right now. If you guys click on this, you might see this is the gift box of 4 that I have tagged. When you click on that, if you look at their entire store, you can buy 1, you can buy 2, you can buy 4. And then there's also different like patterns and images on different ones.
Like we just had the globe essentially on the exterior of that one, but
Joe's gonna show you this one.
you know, it's not too hard. Our little ones figure it out, but you have a cube as well.
You guys like how he did that backhanded comment at me about how the little ones even figure it out. And so for me, this is what I would call more of like a calming device or a fidget device. I like having these in the timeout areas where our kids go, because then they can just sit and play with this and kind of calm down a little bit. My oldest is probably the best. My 6-year-old is probably the best at this, followed by Joe. Sorry, Joe. I think Eileen's better than you. And then my 3-year-old, who's almost 4, she has another one, and she's really good at it too. So we have 2 of these because they were fighting over them all the time. Always. They're also really good to have in your car. So if you don't like for your kids to have tablets or, you know, phones or anything like that, but you need them to have something to do on a long car ride, this could also be a really cool option where they could, you know, say like, hey, I want everybody to make me this triangle. And then they have to sit in the back and try to make the triangle as fast as they can.
And all of them have different shapes or different images on them. So it's fun to have different ones.
Oh, there it is. I thought he forgot to bring this down. The other thing that I know that is on deal for Prime Day is ZenWise. So these are the digestive enzymes. I also have the No Bloat by ZenWise as well. The No Bloat is something that if you're going on vacation and you know you're going to be eating things that you typically don't eat, you can take the No Bloat to help you with that, to where you don't get bloated and feel, ugh, like, why did I eat that? The digestive enzymes is something that I take on a daily basis. I first saw these on social media, and then I saw that they were working with Logie that I partner with, and so I immediately signed up and said, yes, I need these, send them to me, I want them, and I take them every single day now. So I am a faithful ZenWise user. These should be on deal throughout Prime Day, so make sure that you click on it so that you can see. The next item is also a Logie item. This is Ruffin Rufus. It is a portable, yes, I said portable, foldable pet tent. Should I call it a tent?
Playpen.
Playpen. There we go. So we have a puppy coming today. I've told you guys. Can you go a little more towards me, honey?
All right. I just want to make sure it's
turn
in
it
the
around.
right.
Got it. And Joe was waiting until Prime Day to buy a pen for the puppy or buy anywhere for the puppy to go. And I said, whoa, 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 whoa. He's going to be here before that. And originally he wasn't supposed to come till Thursday. I will give Joe that. But as many orders as Amazon is going to have for Prime Day, just think about it. It's not going to get here before he got here. So luckily, we got this in from Ruffin Rufus, and it's amazing. It's going to be perfect. This playpen, the whole bottom is waterproof. There's mesh sides. Joe just rolled up the front, I'll call it the front door, and it zips. And then the entire top also zips open so that we're not having to bend down to try to get the puppy out from the side. We can simply unzip the top and pull him straight up out from the top.
And then, like Jen said, this comes in from the front. You can roll that down. One of the other things is very easy to put together. It comes with a carrying case as well with instructions on how to put it together and take it apart. It's really easy. Yeah. It's just got to pull
I call it like the princess tents. You guys know like those princess tents that you put together for your kids that have the like rods like Joe's pulling out right now?
Yeah, except I pulled it out.
You pulled it too fast.
I pulled it too fast and I pulled it apart.
Oh no. So it has rods that you put in each one of the gray stripes that's going around the whole unit, and then there's a Velcro part that comes down on that. Yep. So when you want to take the whole thing apart and fold it up to travel with it, it folds into a round, you know, like a round circle, and then fits in a bag.
Yeah, so all those this fits, I think, what is it, about that big of a disc?
It's
not
large.
Very big at all.
It's perfect for travel.
These all pop together and slide in here. And they have a silicone cap on each end, so you're not going to have anything sharp.
Yep.
And it Velcros over the top so that you don't have them popping out while it's being used.
So we have that upstairs right now, and that is where the puppy's going to be until, you know, his furniture crate thing comes in. But I think it's great. I think this is wonderful. It also came with a little pop-up like food and water bowl for travel as well. And we have a lot of Ruffin Rufus products, and they are all great. We have their salmon oil that we're going to be giving him. We have their puppy leash and everything. So if you click on this listing right here and it opens up right underneath the title, you'll be able to see the, you know, brand Ruffin Rufus store. You can click there and look at everything they have because all of their items are on deal.
I will be right back.
Okay, I just didn't have enough time to I didn't have enough spaces on my live stream to put all of that. All right, the next item that I'm going to be going over, this is the Brewmate 3-in-1. I get asked about this bad boy every single time I am up at our pool because someone will say, hey, what is that? How does it work? Can you show it to me? What do you have in there? They're being nosy, but that's okay. I'm all right with it. This is the 3-in-1. So I drink hot coffee, hot tea. I also like ice drinks. This is a locking lid. So this is another one of those lids that whatever you have in here, whether it's coffee, hot, cold, whatever, as long as the lid is in the lock position, like it is right now, see, it tells you this is also a magnet, this part right here, that will open and magnetize over here so it doesn't fall and hit you in the face. But as long as it's locked, you can shake this bad boy, nothing's coming out of it. I took this one on our little, hike that's right around our house because this fit into my little backpack, my little sling that I had perfectly, and I knew we weren't going to be gone that long. I didn't need that much water, so I filled this up with ice and ice water, and I was perfectly fine. To unlock the lid, you simply push it backwards, you heard it click, and then this part will come up. And when I said it magnetizes on the other side, you can see this is not falling down. So this is not going to come and like hit me in the face because it's being held on the other side over here, which is great. These features right here are part of why I am switching all of my cups over to BrewMate cups. It also has a twist lid, so you're not going to have little fingers like I have coming and popping your lid off, because it is a twist lid that also has the silicone band or the rubber band to keep it in place. It is, as you can see, you can see that I use this. It's your typical kind of, what is this, aluminum? I'm not really sure. But it's your typical, what everything keeps cold, right? The reason I like this the most, you can have this little guy right here is a freezer thing. You freeze this. See how it's kind of cut like the bottom of a can down there? You put this down in the bottom. You put your can on top so your can is sitting on something cold. And then you put this over the top of your can so that it holds your can down into this koozie on ice. I can have my canned drink up at the country club pool with me, and it stays cold the entire time I'm drinking it. It's not sweating. It is like its own little miniature fridge that it's in right here. It also has the rubberized bottom, so when you put it down, it acts more like a coaster. These, fantastic. BrewMate. The other thing that I really like, and I've had a lot of people tag me on social media and thank me for showing them these. I know that Stanley cups are huge right now. I myself have 3 or 4 Stanley cups as well, until I saw the BrewMate, until I had the BrewMate. This is a BrewMate Toddy XL, and this again has this locking lid on top. Now I have a straw in here right now. You would have to have the straw out or have a straw that can get pushed down in there. You simply push this over, you can lock the lid. There's a lot of moms that say that after they've had their coffee or their large soda in one of these with a locking lid, running after a kid in a parking lot and it doesn't splash and go everywhere, or they drop their cup and it still doesn't spill because of the locking lid, that they are tried and true. They are BrewMate people now. So I say Stanley cups are for those young kids and college girls that aren't chasing after children, and BrewMates are for parents who are chasing after children. Don't want all your stuff to spill everywhere. The other thing that I want to point out to everyone, where did I put it? Here we go. All of these Style Edit products, these are root concealer sprays, and then I also have the powder next. The powder is only about this big, and I believe I left it upstairs. They are all Style Edit is 30% off. You can use this on the roots right here to prolong your beauty appointment, to go get your hair done. I wear a lot of headbands, and I hate seeing this dark right up here, just at the top of my headband. So I will use the Style Edit spray or powder to just kind of quickly cover that up. And the powder is very good to travel with. I keep it down in my purse at all times, which is why I forgot to bring it down here today. The next item that I'm going to go over is right back there, right behind me. It is a Life Pro Sauna infrared mat. That is the Juva wrap that is back there. It is over in my gym right now. It is huge. I did not bring it over here. I left the box right behind me. These were the second thing that everyone was telling me on when I asked, what are you searching for this Prime Day? Number 1 was the ice maker. Number 2 was the IR treatment, sauna mat, red light therapy, things like that. This sauna mat is absolutely hands down amazing. I have an autoimmune disease that makes my joints stiff at times. So anytime I'm feeling that way, I go get in this mat and I feel a whole lot better. That's my own personal experience with this. There's also a pamphlet on the inside that tells you if you're looking to just sweat and just really super sweat, what temperature and how long to stay in there, versus if you're wanting more of the therapeutic level, what temperature and how long you need to be in there for that. Life Pro also makes a lesser, or I guess a less expensive version. I do not have that version, but I wanted to put it on here because I saw that they were both on Prime Day deals today, and I know that this is something that you all are looking for. So the one that I have is the Rejuva wrap that I have highlighted right now, and it does come in a big bag. It is very large, it's very easy to clean, and you can roll it up and put it back into its bag when you're not using it or want to store it. The next thing that I'm going to show, and I believe this might be the last thing, I'm not positive.
Nope, there's still a couple more.
There's still a couple more. The iWalks. As you can see, I like them and I use them. One is in my purse. I always have one in my purse at all times because I'm a content creator. I have to be able to have a phone or device that is fully charged. So I have one for my iPad and I have multiple for my phone. This is the LinkPod station. So this plugs in and all of them charge at once in this LinkPod station. And this sits right by our back door. So anytime I'm leaving, if I think, oh gosh, I don't know if the one in my purse is still charged, I will simply just swap it out for one before I go. I also travel everywhere with these as well. My girlfriend in Florida had to borrow one from me because her phone kept dying. The other thing that I want to show that everyone always asks about is my DJI mic. This guy right here. You are listening to me through it right here, and Joe has the other one on, clipped on him right there. What's great about this, if you're a content creator and you have multiple people on camera, you only have to add one mic input and it will pick up both of you speaking. Joe and I used to have separate mics, and it was really difficult trying to remember, like, hey, which screen do I need to have your mic on versus my mic on versus this or this. And with the DJI, you can have two on here. You can also use these with your Nikon, with your Canon, with your Sony, with your cameras, your larger cameras. And there's also, you'll see right here, hopefully, no, kind of, you can kind of see. Right here is a USB-C, and then there's also the port to also plug it into iPad or iPhone so that you can use this for your sound on your videos if you're creating on a mobile device as well. So I highly, highly, highly recommend the DJI mics. Joe is going to talk to you about the kids fires. We do get a lot of questions about which one do you think is best for what ages, why do you like them, what are some downsides to them. So I'm going to let him review all of that and I'll chime in as needed.
Yep, so as Jen said, the Amazon Fire HD kids tablets. We have the 8 and the 10, so 8-inch and 10-inch versions. They are HD. This one, as you can see, is Disney Princesses. That our youngest picked that one out. It does have a USB-C charger. It does have a headphone jack as well. It is Bluetooth capable. I'm going to turn that on so you can kind of see the screen.
Yep.
Let's see. Here. Oh, every time. Yeah. So it does have, kind of the different options and functions and add-ons that we did for her on this one. I didn't turn the 10-inch on because I realized it was almost dead because our oldest was using it. But I will point out that it does have, this one has like rainbows and symbols on the back. She picked out this one too. So one of the nice things is a lot of the newer cases are more customizable. They don't just come in a certain color. Right. They might have Disney Princesses or something else on them. So the kids will get a chance to pick it up. They do have the stand. I can't say how valuable these cases are enough because our kids drop them consistently. They do also have forward-facing cameras in kind of your face, if you're on a video call camera as well, which the kids love to FaceTime, instant message grandma, and they come on here and want to do that all the time. So they are handy for that. They love talking to their cousins too. So any of those different things, it's not just going on there to be able to download movies or play games. You can actually use it to talk with your relatives as well, and ours really enjoy using it for that feature.
Now I'm going to go over some of the questions that I've received on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, things like that when I post about these devices. Yes, you can extend the storage on them. These devices, unlike others, you can put a card in the side, and I believe both of ours have the 128. Is it a 128 card?
And I'm going to see if I can.
He's going to look. He's going to look for us so that you can download things. Now, we are a Fire TV, Fire Cube, Fire Stick family. We're an Amazon family. So all of the movies and shows and things like that we have purchased.
Now, I'm not going to pull it out, but you can see the micro SD card in here.
There you go.
There's a slot on this side, which has a little cover that pops into place.
Correct. And the only thing you have to do when you put that in is that you have to format the SD card or micro SD card for the device, and you do that over on the adult profile. So there's a children's profile on these that has all of the free, it used to be called free time, but now I think it's called kids time content. And then you can also switch and go over to an adult profile, which is where you do all of the settings, the parental controls. You can also do parental controls on an app or a web page as well. So you can say, hey, I want my 4-year-old to only have content that is up for age 4. Or you can say, no, I'm okay with her seeing content up to age 6. I'm okay with my 6-year-old seeing content up to age 8. And then you can kind of edit from there. You can also pick the times of day. You can set times of day and say, hey, these can only come on between 12 and 3. Other than that, it automatically shuts itself down and says, goodbye, you've used your allotted screen time today, because you can also say, hey, they can only be on here for an hour. And once they've been on for an hour, it shuts it down.
And I will show you, it's tiny.
It is
like
tiny.
When you don't have it in the case, it's tiny. So let's say the kids get a little bit older, they're still using it. You can get different cases for these.
You can.
And the content can always be updated, so it doesn't just have to be kids content on it.
Correct. That's what I said. You can switch over to an adult profile as well. You can purchase things if they do not have it from the adult profile and then push it over to them. But realistically, if you're doing their monthly kids program, which we have on both of ours, and it also comes with that initially for you to kind of test it out and see if you want it, there is so much content on there. There's no way that they could ever get through it all. There's books, there's videos, there's movies, there's games, there's apps, there's educational things. It's never ending how much is on there. You can also go in and just kind of cherry pick different things and say, hey, I don't want to have this, this, and this on their tablet. And you can just say, hey, take that off, and it will pull it off. And the next time they go on, if it's not there, then they just think that it just disappeared. What's nice about it coming up in a blank screen just saying like, hey, you've now allotted your time, is you as a parent don't have to go fight your child and say, give me that tablet right now, you're not doing it anymore, because they're going to put it down. Once they see that they can't do anything on it anyway, they're going to put it down or go put it back up to charge, and then you don't have to do all the fighting. You can also turn them off, I believe, mobily from the app or the web as well on the parental dashboard. So these have been great for us. Since we already purchased all of our movies through our Fire Cube or Fire Stick, we can simply just take those same purchased movies and push them over onto the kids' tablets. We can download them, and then they can have these in the car and watch movies in the car as well without having any Wi-Fi. What you got?
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, for those of you who like to use, tablets, in the evening or before you're going to bed, it does have something called blue shade mode where it dims the screen. You can access your storage. You can have it in airplane mode. You can exit or change profiles, settings, all from the drop-down menu. If you want to have it fixed versus auto-rotate, you can do that as well. You can even turn on a low power mode. So there really is a lot of nice features that you can use with these that I will say from the earlier versions that we've had to now, they've really added a lot.
We've had many of these, just so that you guys know, but we had 2 and somehow we lost them and we still have not found them, which is kind of bugging me a little bit that we still have not found them.
I strongly believe they're somewhere in this house or in the garage, but I just don't know where.
We don't know where.
You know, but if we did happen to leave them somewhere, another great feature with Amazon is if you have the device connected to your account, and we didn't see any you know, surprising charges to our account. That's why I feel like they're somewhere here. You can disconnect that device from your account so that somebody can't charge additional things to your account.
Oh yeah, once we couldn't find them, I immediately disconnected them from our account. So they wouldn't have any content or any access to them anyway, because it completely wipes your entire account from that device if you were to lose it like we did. Another thing that people ask me is, can you hook headphones up to it? And the answer is yes. There is a headphone port on them, and then it also does have Bluetooth as well. So if your child has Bluetooth headphones, you know, the children's headphones, they can absolutely Bluetooth the headphones to that as well. Yep. And if you guys have any questions, just let us know, because we are here to answer it. The last device, the last product that I'm going to go over, it is called Yo Nana. Joe will probably cringe at this because he's like, did we really need that? And yes, we did really need it. I saw this and I immediately bought it because my family, all of them, children and husband included, they ask on a daily basis for ice cream. And while I'm a proponent of, you know, hey, it's summer, we can have ice cream and all that kind of jazz, I don't know that we really need to have ice cream on a nightly basis like that, especially with all the sugar. So I got this. You put frozen fruit in it. It does come with a recipe book. A lot of the recipes are with a frozen banana and then something else, but here you're going to see it's just straight frozen mango, and it is absolutely amazing. When I get off of here, I'm probably going to have to make myself a cup now that I've seen it, and I can have fruit with, you know, up until 3 o'clock basically as part of my carbs for the day. And so I have been making myself a cup of this with frozen fruit, and then there's my serving of fruit, but I feel like I'm getting to have like a gelato type consistency dessert, right? So it's super easy to clean. All of the pieces are also dishwasher safe. It's really easy though. You can just rinse everything off in the sink once you're done with it. And I do that just because I like to have my things last a little longer. But they absolutely can go in the top shelf of your dishwasher, and it's super easy to clean. It's not a giant device. I'd say it's probably about this big and this tall, the base. And so it fits in the cabinet that is up over top of, is it the refrigerator or the microwave? It's up over top of the microwave, just kind of chill in there. But I personally have gotten a lot of really good use out of this. And anytime I am making my, you know, fruit gelato, my kids always have to come in and say like, oh, we need some too. So this has been really, really great for us to have. I also used some of my protein powder recently, and I made a protein powder like little ice cubes out of it, and then I put those ice cubes in here and it did the exact same thing. So if you're looking for something that can make an ice cream type thing out of protein powder or protein shakes as well, then this might be your jam right here as well. So is there anything that you would like to hit again, Joe, before we go?
I think we covered it all.
You think we covered it all? Okay, so I'm Jen. That's Joe. He's got his own light now right up over his head. So he's excited. He's got his own little area. It is Prime Day right now. So hopefully you guys are taking full advantage of everything that is Prime Day. Make sure that you are checking back for a lot of the lightning deals, because a lot of times they might start at a specific time. Make sure that you're setting alerts. You can click on anything in our store right now. You can add it to your cart, and then you can check later to see if there is a lightning deal, if there's not currently a deal on it right now. Everything that we have in our cart should be on deal within the next 24 hours, just FYI. So if you see something, please add it to your cart. We are sponsored today by The Butler. The Butler is a brand. All of their items are marked down by 20% over the next 48 hours. So thank you guys for watching and happy Prime Day. Bye, y'all. See you next time.